Hello. I need to put my
Guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and how you doing, Stormcat? This is another intro. So, how you doing today? Wow, it's Monday. Happy Monday! I hope everybody had a fantastic Halloween. Do me a favor and hit that like button on your way in. If you don't have a membership, I suggest you get one. We have some cool things going on. And I see a few people in here like Jade says, love your show. She doesn't have hers yet, but hopefully you get one gifted. If you guys have the means to gift a membership, buy a membership, all the things. This is a fan funded channel, so I appreciate you. Yeah, turn it on, turn your gifting on. Like Stormcat, I believe you were gifted a membership. How you doing, Alizita and JPL? Azabarella, how you doing? All you folks, I missed everybody too. Scary Sherry, always including you. Man, this is going to be a big week. Now, this week there's a lot of trials still going on. We got the Delphi trial, which I saw. Hidden True Crime, I saw there was 8,500 people in her chat. So I was like, I don't know who's going to come over here today, but this topic today, it's important. We're talking about Jennifer Soto letting Stephan. When I say letting Stephan groom her and Maddie, I do believe that he groomed Jen Soto, but I do believe that she let him groom her. I don't know if that makes sense, but it will make sense soon. Many things that she said in the interview, and as I've watched it over and over and over, and thank you, JoJo, for the one Guilty of Crime membership. Hello, Foxy Amazon, how you doing? Appreciate you all. As I watch these interviews and I see them again and I start seeing things unfold, I'm like, wait a minute, something else clicks because, we're watching it again. I'm watching it again. So that being said, I want to thank Plunder now and say thank you, Plunder, for the content. Thank you for your Patreon. You guys, if you don't have a Patreon membership at Plunder, go get it because she's got lots of different videos and documents. And today I'm going to use her CarFax. I'm going to use a portion of it so you guys can go over there and get it if you want. And I loved her take. First of all, we're a spiritual channel over here. We do believe in prayers. We do believe in a higher power. Now, when I say a higher power, I'm not like, we got to be God or Jesus. It could be Buddha. It could be Allah. It could be Jesus. It could be whatever your preference is. Spirituality is what makes us exist, in my opinion. All right. So when I saw her video, I was like, wow, there's some things she said, and I'm talking about Paula from Plunder, just really made me want to react to her video. And I'm going to do part of it so you guys can go watch it on her channel as well. But I want to react to it. I want to go over the CarFax document, and she spent $50 on it. So, I have background checks. I didn't want to buy a $50 CarFax when I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But I want to push you guys over to it. I thought it was significant, and some things that she say are very significant. Hello, Rosie. How you doing? But Jennifer Soto letting Stephan groom her and Maddie from day one. That's the important part about today. And then we're going to do the CarFax. I'm going to react to that and also many things that Paula from Plunder said and things that clicked with me. Tomorrow, we're going to do a show on the Madeline Soto case, and I'm going to debunk some things that are across many channels and answer questions that I saw on the Plunder video. I saw a question that someone said, well, that's not how Jenn and Stephan met. They met because they bonded over their gastric bands. Well, they did, but that's not where they met, was at a gastric clinic. They met at work and they bonded. So I'm going to go over stuff. There was other things. There was a video that came out about meth and crack, and it came out on the interview room as well as other channels that misconstrued the document as being Stephan Stern's document because it was thrown into it. It is not, in fact, Stephan Stern's or Jenn Soto. If you saw a video from the interview room, or if you got documents from Plunder, there was a meth and a crack thing that got thrown into it, and it was in fact another person that we dug up on. We did a background dig on him and checked it. Bree helped me on this to check the guy. It was in fact another guy that got intertwined with that case. It was not Jenn or Stephan that had anything to do with meth or crack. Now we know they both look like they could be, and trigger warning, killer potato, but it's not. So tomorrow we're going to do a whole episode on debunking the junk, as I like to call it, or classier, making corrections on some things, and really just digging into the things that I found that people are misinformed on, even on my channel from me. So tomorrow we're going to do that. Thank you, Foxy. Hello, sweetie. Yeah, so I want to go over things like that, and then I'm going to go into a new case. I'm picking up many new cases, but Tiffany Lucas I'm going to pick up on tomorrow, and she brutally took her two boys' lives. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to go into detail. We're going to do body cam. We're going to do a deep dive. I'm going to do a deep dive on the what is that little girl's name? That there's another little girl I'm going to do a dive on this week, and I might just do the Darla Routier, where she took her two children as well. She wants out. DD reaction. So this week is going to be awesome. All right. And yeah, it's true crime for a reason, because we want to get things right, including me. I'm gonna talk about no, it's not Aubrey, although I do want to do Aubrey. It's the little girl that went missing out of the country, Madeleine McCann. That one, she thinks that I'm going to do the Aubrey too, but they think they found her. That little girl is saying that it's her. Is it her? We're going to talk about it and find out. Tish, thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Thank you, gifting those to the crew. Nothing was on last Friday, Krista. It's just a bunch of things. People were on the show when in fact, and again, Avis, thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. You guys were watching me when I got a phone call from somebody in the family that said Maddie wasn't pregnant. Now, I never saw that come out, so I want to talk about that. Yes, Madeleine McCann. Thank you. We're going to dig into that. So this week, I'm going to have new cases. We're going to do new deep dives. We're going to do new things. And I'm still going to stay on the Madeline Soto case. But I need to bring awareness to other children that their lives have been taken way too soon and bad things have happened to them. All right. So yeah, and with you guys, I like to interact with my audience as well. So I'm not just sitting there watching videos and not reporting on stuff and not doing behind the scenes digs. I'm also interacting with you, and your opinion counts. So when like Michelle, I don't know if Michelle's here. Michelle, is it Lalonde, messages me and says, "Hey, there was a mistake. Can you check this out?" Michelle Legrand and other folks message me on Instagram. I'm answering and I'm getting back to you. So I really want to interact with you and get things right, not just for myself, but for other, just this case, Madeleine McCann. Yeah, it's wishful thinking, but I'm going to go over that, MM, and I think it's important that I go over that. All right. I think it's important. Hit the like button. Yeah, that's what I want to know. I cannot understand how these women do that. It is Maddie, and I cannot understand it. All right. Now, Bree says Madeline McCann is a very noticeable eye mark to identifier. Well, what do you think about that? Because we're going to do that this week. All right. Madeline McCann, interested in true crime, is there you go. So that's why I'm going to cover. And I cover all things true crime, but I'm stuck on this case. I've been stuck on this case, and yeah, like this. All right. So let's get into it today, because we have a I'm going to start out at about 4 minutes. I'm not going to get into the very beginning. Love you, Paula. Love you, Plunder. Carly, if you could drop those links as we talked about, that'd be great. Paula from Plunder. Also, if we could drop a link for her Patreon, that would be great. Now, I'm going to pull it up. She watermarked it, but I'm not watching the entire video. So I do want you guys to go over to her channel and watch this if you haven't. This is my take on this topic and her video. This is not even what she called her video. She called it CarFax, Jennifer Soto, Nissan Sentra, damage, Cash App found. But when I listen to this, I think that Jennifer Soto let Stephan Stearns groom her and Maddie from day one. And I do believe that Stephan Stearns groomed her. She knew it. She knew that her mom said, don't let any man that close, don't let your daughter sleep with them. She didn't start dating him for over a year. And I believe he was grooming her and he was only interested in Maddie. He was only interested in Maddie. And she said to him, hey, dude, since you're around all the time and we're BFFs and I'm kind of horny, because I'm a horny potato, why don't we just hook up? And he says, sure. What kind of dude says sure? If a guy's interested in you, he's going to let you know he's interested in you. And he's going to really let you know he's interested in you, right, ladies? Men let you know when they're interested in you. And they sure don't say, sure, I guess we could hook up. Golly gosh, why not? No, they don't do that. They really show you that they're interested. All right? I'm not that clueless. I used to date guys in my younger age. So I do know that. Now, Jenn thought he was a babysitter, blah, blah, blah. He treated Maddie like you, Jenn. Exactly. But he treated them equally and also taking advantage of Maddie and sleeping with Jenn, all while her having the idea to sleep with him. He wasn't even interested in her. All right. Aggie, Gemini, great to see you. Love to see Jennifer behind bars. So would I. What kind of mother is she? She never deserves her daughter, and she never deserves to have another daughter. I agree. I think she's at an age, I think she's like 38 now, right? Where she's not going to be able to have any more children, hopefully. But yeah, a horny potato, Patty. And if you guys like the content that I provide, thank you guys so far. Your gifting memberships. Thank you, JoJo. Thank you, Foxy. Thank you, Tish. Thank you, Avis. Gift the memberships, super chats, super stickers, all that helps. I appreciate you. Yeah, a horny potato. Do you really think they have enough to take her in, or is it because of the mental health card? Anna, I don't believe that they have enough to take her in, or they would. I think there's circumstantial things to take her in, and they don't want only circumstantial evidence because look at what's happening with the Delphi case. You've got this split group of people. You got this split group, and we have a split group of Jennifer Soto people. There's people that are saying that poor mom, he groomed her too. No, I say Jennifer Soto let Stephan Stearns groom her and Maddie from day one. 222. Let's say a prayer that Maddie gets complete and utter justice, and that means that Jennifer Soto gets arrested. All right, I do believe that she needs to be arrested to get complete and utter justice. Hello, Teresa. Good to see you. Good to see you all today. I missed you. All right, let's listen to some of this, and we'll get into it. This is my reaction. Paula from Plunder. Love you. Love your content. Love your Patreon. I've got it all. So thank you. That's what got me into the Tiffany Lucas. Body cam is this lady here. So let's go.
Murder, but for horrific abuse, which we'll talk more about. They believe the perpetrator is Stephan Stearns. He's now 38 years old. He's sitting in jail waiting for his next appearance, and he was Jennifer's on-again, off-again boyfriend. So let's talk all about the reasons. Let's pontificate and speculate all the reasons why Jennifer may not have deleted her Cash App account, why she might have set it up at that point in time.
All right, so we're still going to talk about the Cash App because this came out yesterday and it's important. And for you, Scary Sherry, thank you so very much for the $25 Cash App. That means a lot to me. I need to pay for Opus Clip through Cash App, so I'm going to pay that afterwards. That makes my shorts, helps me make my shorts. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Rebecca Michelo is on my phone right now. I remember we want complete and utter justice for everybody. We covered the Corey Michelo case, and I want to get Rebecca back on here. She's going through a rough time with Corey being gone and thinking that people forgot about Corey. We don't forget about Corey. We're going to do another episode about him, and hopefully we can get her back on here and remember Corey Michelo. All right. So, Richard Allen is about 8 inches too short to be the bridge guy. Interesting, Foxy. I'm not going to get into that. All right, yeah. This guy makes my skin crawl. All right, so let's find out. Let's speculate about Cash App. I think Cash App, remember, Jenn Soto, in my opinion, allegedly stole the GoFundMe for Maddie's funeral. All right. There was a $16,000 GoFundMe that disappeared. Maddie was cremated. All right. So that $16,000 gone. It wasn't able to help out the fund or the memorial or anything because it was gone. All right. So poof, it's gone, and she still has her Cash App up. I wonder who's giving her to Cash App. Yes, 22211, Maddie's birthday. Say a quick prayer for Maddie. All right. And yes, we will never forget about Corey. Rebecca, if you're watching this, we'll never forget about Corey, and we will do another episode. All right. 16K disappeared. Now let's listen about her Cash App, some of these things. And while we're listening to this, let's remember that Jenn let Stephan groom her, and how long, in fact, they were friends before she even said to him, "Hey, why don't we just mess around because I'm horny?" That's not exactly what she said, but that's what happened. No, nothing got returned, Stormcat. It happened a lot this year, but it happened with her in particular, all right? Well, let's go.
What she was going through in 2017 and beyond, she's deleted almost every other social media account I can find. She's deleted all those, but not Cash App. Do you remember when she was first under Facebook under Jenn Lisette, one of her nicknames, Jenn Lisette? She published that first post I saw exclaiming, "Help me find my daughter." I might have seen that February 26th or maybe the 27th. I don't know when I first became aware of the case. It was very, very early. People always say they're following cases from day one. And I'm like, well, probably not. You know, we probably don't hear about it sometimes until day 2 or 3, even very popular cases like Shanann Watts' case. Some people literally do hear about it from day 1. But when controversy ensued, Jennifer briefly changed her Facebook profile to a sunflower photo. She got rid of the photo of her sitting there looking pretty, and her hair did look a little, maybe like red highlights or burgundy or something. And she removed the photo of like Stephan Stearns lurking in the background behind her like a creeper standing behind her car, like looking through the back window. So she changed the name briefly from Jenn Lisette to Sailor Coda. Sailor Coda. Those were the names of their pets, their dog and their cat, I believe, that we heard being called in such a humorous recording on that.
And it wasn't humorous at all. I'm going to tell you right now how 4,081 signatures for the arrest. Jenn Soto charged Jenn Soto for the wrongful death and essay of Madeline Soto. So that petition we've been signing is way over what they asked for. They needed 2,500, and in fact, there's 4,081. So let me drop it in chat. You guys continue doing that, and while you you do that continually, please, let's talk also about the money that she took from the GoFundMe. That, in fact, was, it was gifted to her. I don't know about what you call gifted, but her funeral was donated. All right. Now, no, the Sailor Coda was Stephan Stearns in that. It was it was kind of controversial. The news ad where in the background it said Sailor Coda, and people thought were birds in the background. Do you remember that? Sailor Coda. All right, I just dropped a link, Tracy Pope, for the petition. All right, so let's listen to this. That was pretty controversial. The reason it was funny is because it wasn't, but Jenn Soto laughed during the interview where her daughter was missing and she was pleading for Maddie to come home. She started laughing when it said Sailor Coda. Do you remember that? All right. Sorry, folks, the drug charges are not part of the case, and they belong to the next on the page. We did find that out, Lil Red. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to many people about this. We're going to do it tomorrow. We're going to debunk the junk in this case and talk about the things that are not coming out right and misconception. So that was the wrong. We're going to talk about a whole thing about that tomorrow. All right. Yeah, it was disgusting that she laughed. And I hope it gets played right here. I think it does. All right.
Automatic pet feeder when Jennifer gave that sobering TV interview about her missing daughter. But Jennifer couldn't help but smile when she heard Stephan's voice. It sounded like his voice, Coda, Coda, Sailor. Some people thought it was a parrot.
She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing at all when she says, "Oh, just kidding," in the interview. There's nothing funny that I would ever be able to laugh at hearing that monster that she let groom Maddie and let groom her because she knew better. She told the officers that she knew better, that she never would let a man sleep with her daughter. Her mom raised her to never give her daughter to a man. She raised her to not do that. And in fact, she told us that, and yet she still did it. She knew she was being interviewed. I don't know if she thought there was going to be a take two, but she still laughed. All right. Potato warning. Thank you, JoJo and Synth, for gifting one Guilty of Crime membership. We got lots of memberships here today. And again, thank you, Anna Melendez. Petition signed. The story, like several others, pissed me off. And all we want is justice for Maddie. Absolutely. All right, let's finish this. We got a lot to react on today and to go over tomorrow, too. Thank you. That's not funny.
But it might have been Maddie. Also in there, it's hard to tell on that recording. She couldn't help but smile just hearing her boyfriend's voice. Never mind, she was in the middle of an interview about her missing daughter, and Lord knows where her daughter is. She couldn't help but give that smile. But then perhaps Jennifer realized how inappropriate that smile was, and she kind of just goes, sorry, like it'll stop in a few. But there's no more face.
But that's another reason, 201, why I believe that she was also letting Stephan groom her and Maddie. He made his place in there. In a minute, she's going to talk about how she didn't date him for over a year, but she lets this guy, knowing he's out trying to get other girls, knowing that he's sleeping with, meaning just sleeping with the daughter. She lets him put this creepy guy put his voice on their pet feeder as he's doing things to Maddie, drugging maybe Jenn, maybe she let him. I think that if she was drugged, she did it by will because she's a drug addict. She's always drugged. So I think doing that was part of another reason. You don't let some man's voice be on there. Then, oh, it's so funny. You're not even with this guy. It makes me so mad. And thank you so much, Microwave Cheese. I hope you guys have your memberships on. There's 10 more coming at you. Why are her eyes so closed? She's like a big goof. She's just like this. I think that's why we call her a potato. Look at this and then look at her on the couch. If you look at it from this view, oh, wait, it's got to be this view, right? It's got the same view as her. She's making the same ugly potato face. She just doesn't have a knife in her hand. We'll put a roll of toilet paper in her hand from all the fake crying that she did. All right. Jenn was drugging herself. Absolutely. If she was being drugged, it was by herself. She was sharing those pills with Stephan and letting him drug Maddie.
Facebook for Jennifer. There's no more Instagrams, save for any screenshotted photos, save for any screen recorded videos. Thank God the woman, I will flash her tag on TikTok here. She caught a lot of that stuff. If not for her, we wouldn't have a lot of these Jennifer Instagram photos and videos. Now, I don't think I found Jennifer on Snapchat. I found someone like a Jenny Lisette, but that doesn't mean it's Jennifer. Unfortunately, the name Jennifer Soto is so popular. Even one of the officials, the officers or some capacity, Jennifer Soto shows up in all these police documents, but it's not the Jennifer Soto we're talking about when they're, when she's signing official paperwork. And thankfully, I found Jennifer's cash tag under one of her various nicknames that she used across the web, and it's still out there. I won't publicize it because I don't want people just, hitting it up and with pay request. Or my main goal is that investigators see all this stuff. Reportedly, one person, at least one authority in Florida, watches these YouTube videos. According to her, she works for Florida authorities. So I like to pass on what I've found to see, oh my goodness, let's pray they've checked all this too, which I'm sure they have. But let's talk about what was Jennifer doing in 2017, that year that she started this Cash App account. According to court records.
All right, and this gives us a better idea for you all when she started seeing Stephan, even as a friend. It also gives you a good idea when Maddie started being abused, or when we think she did, and when she was abused on record. And what's up, Shelly Stoned? Nice name. You say dot. And Ara is going to bed already. Good night. Hope everyone's doing well. Don't go to bed yet. And Rosie says, choo choo. Thank you, by the way, for the 99-cent super sticker. I appreciate you. All right, Jenn is an adult responsible for her own actions, you say. Stephan Stearns grew Maddie and used Jenn. Right, but she let him do that. He used her and she let him do that. And she used him back. As a matter of fact, we'll hear in a minute how she says, hey, what's up? Can we hook up or what? Sure. What's up, Jesse Lou? How you doing? All right. Did you know Stephan Stearns pleaded not guilty? Of course I knew that, Veronica. I'm deep into this case. Of course he did. He doesn't think he is.
Records, Jennifer L. Soto was divorcing Stephen K. Young. We've heard from Stephen in different interviews, in at least one interview, I believe, with police after Maddie disappeared. I don't think I've published any of his interview yet on this channel. Her ex-husband has been interviewed, and he's actually reached out to a lot of us personally, many YouTubers. He seems like a kind and caring man, and certain things that we get from police aren't totally redacted. They're kids' names that appear. And so a lot of stuff, some stuff I've held back on, I don't know, just to be more protective, I guess. But don't we wish Madeline would have had a protective mother? Madeline would have only been 6 years old in 2017, and it was around the same time Jennifer met Stephan. That's what she says. She met him around that time. Jenn even explained it in a police interview how she met Stephan at work. So if you look at the video titled below, I've linked to it. It's called No Commentary, Jennifer Soto, Not Evil, March 1st, 2024, Orange County interview when Maddie's mom is confronted. Indeed, police really confronted her. So it's around the 54-minute mark. Jennifer starts
all right, this is great right here. This is where it all starts. And this is why when I was watching this video, I was like, we need to watch this together. I need to do a reaction to it. And now I have the CarFax I can go over, but I really loved Plunder's take. I love the spirituality that she put into it and her thoughts behind it. So Clark, thank you. You know, I wanted to give you a shout out for the $2.99 super sticker. Love you as always, girl. Always, always, always. All right. So let's continue this. We're going to hear about this particular thing about her letting Stephan groom Maddie, and well, she let him groom her as well. So is it grooming if you let her? If you let him? Is it graping if you let somebody? No. That's just me being, me being a little bit cynical about this. Hi, Jay. Have you heard anything about the inventory list containing? Yes, I have, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to do that on tomorrow's show. That is not Stephan Stearns. It's not Stephan's dad's car. It's not even related to Stephan Stearns' case. All right. I don't know if I can maybe tell you at the end of the show if we can talk about this, but it's not them. It's a it's a mistake. It's a mistake. That is not Stephan Stearns. I have that list I can show you, but it's not them. It's another person, and the document got put into the PDF on accident. All right.
explaining she met Stephan in 2017 when they both worked for some company called Echo Homes. So I couldn't find a lot about this Echo Homes place, but she said, we both worked for Echo Homes, a real estate company. I did appointments and he worked in the office doing like warranty work. We met as coworkers. We became really good friends. We were best friends, she says. I don't know, something about that kind of creeped me out. We became really good friends. We were best friends. The part that creeped me out about that is later in Jennifer's other interview, that transport interview where she's explaining, and there's other ones too, but she's explaining how Stephan and Maddie, and it's redacted, of course, so it's hard to tell, but she's explaining how Stephan and Maddie were kind of like best buds, best friends. It creeped me out, and even maybe partners in their.
You should never let some man, first of all, that you bonded over with who knows what about the gastric and him not having self-esteem, not let him be Maddie's BFF. He can be yours and you can do whatever you want. You could sleep with him, but do not hand your daughter over to him. And NGA, have that inventory list. I'm going to show you after this just because I want you to see that it is not Stephan Stearns' name. As a matter of fact, the name that's on it is Dequan Doherty. It's Dequan Doherty, and they messed up the evidence list. They put it in there, and it's not Stephan Stearns. So everybody's blowing up about it. It's not. Yeah, the evil BFF potato. Yeah, both of them are evil potatoes. All right. So let's get this clear. Tomorrow we have a big episode to straighten things up, and today I'll throw it in there just so you can see.
nerdy gameplay and all that stuff. It creeped me out to have Jennifer equate herself like, oh, we were best friends. Stephan and I were best friends. And then to hear her equate the same type of relationship almost with Stephan and Maddie, it just, I don't know. But anyway, she's explaining they were best friends for like a year. So this is in 2017, I believe. Jennifer's going to explain it a little bit deeper, trying to get the timeline right. We met as coworkers, we became really good friends, we were best friends for like a year, and then eventually I asked him if he wanted to hook up, and he said sure. So I was like, okay, Jennifer was fresh off of her divorce from Stephan. She was on the prowl, and she was the one who had to make advances at Stephan.
And see what we're saying? She made advances at Stephan. They were friends for a year. She says a year, but it was, if you look at the time frame, it was more like a year and a half. All right. So she made advances towards him, was like, hey, we're hanging out all the time. We might as well hook up. And he's like, sure. He was already grooming her. Now, if you know a typical predator, he is a very typical predator. He's disgusting, but he's very typical, right? So a typical predator would absolutely find a mother that would give them easy access, like he was trying to do with his other girlfriends that he was sleeping with, or other girls. Oh yeah, I woke up with wood next to Maddie. What do you think about that? And she thought he was disgusting and she walked away, but Jenn didn't. Jenn gave him the key to the city, so to speak. All right. So if a man wants you, ladies, they're going to let you know. All right. If they want you, they do not hide it. I'll tell you what, they will let you know. And I will clarify in a bit, if you guys can make sure you stay on here so we can since as those are unrelated cases. It just happened from 2B. The other cases, it's not that they messed up. It's a complete list of things that have to go to the same lab. All right. So those things have to go to the same lab. I have the document and it has a different name on it. Lots of shows. And Clar, I'm speaking to you because I know you watch some of those creators. Absolutely not. They're unrelated to the case, but it's not that they messed up, but it's in the same document. So it's messed up in a way that it says, oh, Stephan Stern's document, and then it shows all of that. Okay. So it's absolutely not. That has nothing to do with the Stephan Stern's case. They were going to the same lab. And if you don't read it closely, you'll look at it. The guy's name was D. Quan, and I have the last name as D. Quan Doherty. I'll show it to you guys after so you know what I'm talking about. All right, then we'll do an episode tomorrow. Yeah, this case does sicken me.
In order to bed him, which is, to me, that's a number one red flag, starting off the relationship right there. I mean, I know I don't want to sound like a total boomer here, but you don't have to chase men. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the shyest man out there will let you know by words and deeds and actions, all of it,
Yeah.
He will let you know that he wants you.
Yes.
So Stephan must not have wanted Jennifer. That's my logic. If they were up there best friends for a year.
Oh, look at that ugly face right now. That ugly cry face. Hello, Sadie's mama. Look at that face. I mean, I have to go bigger so you could see it. She's in the middle of an ugly cry right there. But yes, if a man wants you, he's gonna let you know. And guess what? Equally so, if he's grooming your child, he'll also let you know, because this guy that doesn't really have much interest in you in the way of anything other than just being there all the time and freeloading off of you is gonna let you know that he's interested in you, and he's sure gonna be like a helicopter around your child, and you're gonna know if you're intuitive and you have some sort of brain, you're gonna realize that this man is helicoptering around your child. All right, yeah, that's a bitter beer face. So it's I don't think it was any kind of surprise that Stephan was grooming Maddie. Any of us mothers would see that some man is interested in our daughter in the way that he is. All right. Good night, Sadie's mama. I hope you feel better. Chat's flying. We have 351 people in chat, and I'm doing the best I can here. Yeah, she was worried about her birthday, and so was Stephan. Those two were definitely BFFs. But another thing I want to clarify too is I was watching this Plunder video, And somebody in chat said they don't even sleep together. They're not sleeping together. What? They were sleeping together. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. There's a whole document that talks about the sex that they have and that it's vanilla, but they, she gets her meds, make her not want it, and this and that. But they were definitely active. They were definitely active. So that's not true either.
And after a year, she has to come on to him like, you want to hook up? And he's like, sure. Did he say sure? Or did he wait to know, oh, she's got this beautiful little girl at home, just my type?
Yes.
Is that when he said sure? Anyway, it's just like one of Stephan's friends claimed, I believe, in one of those interviews on Gray Hughes Investigates. He talked about going to a bar or somewhere, this guy with Stephan, and saying women seem to be interested in Stephan. Women were, I guess, adult women coming up to Stephan, but Stephan seemed unfazed. And so now we know why Stephan wasn't interested. These women likely were not in his age bracket, and he probably only said yes to Jennifer because he knew what she had at home. A little girl, unfortunately. I keep thinking of Kendrick Lamar's song.
And this is a good one right now. She's going to talk about. But here's the thing: is that we see pictures of Maddie when she's way younger. I mean, we see her when she's this beautiful little girl that's like a young lady that just turned 13. Even when she was 12, we see her start to like turn into the teenage years. But we see her when she's the girl, the kind of kid that you put on your shoulders and you play chicken with, and they're still very innocent. And that was happening. Her innocence was taken away years ago when Stephan was making her do favors for phone time. All right. Thank you, Clara. I do appreciate that. Yeah. She would love it if she heard you say that. All right. I love this. The Kendrick Lamar. Listen to this. They're not like us. Something like that.
His diss track, trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. I can't hold it out like he does. He not like us. Stern's not like us. That's what I'm thinking.
Not like us.
But did Stephan only say yes to Jennifer over that year, whenever this was, 2017? Or even it could have been 2016, I think I keep hearing. Was she showing him, oh, I have Maddie at home, and here's Maddie here, and here's Maddie this, and here's Maddie that, and okay, I've been working with you for a year, but I have to hit on you? Like, we're besties. What does she mean by best friends? Were they just going out to lunch? Did they talk a lot?
Look, there's a potato face again. And yeah, it seems like he knew, oh, that kind of looks like her right now. It's all crooked. It kind of seems like he was definitely interested in only Maddie, and he kind of just put up with doing it with Jenn because he needed access to her. It absolutely seems like it now. And she did say that at one point, Deanna, she said that it was over 6 months, no relation. I heard that. I've heard lots of those interviews, but they were still active. There was no point where they said we're not going to be active. When the potato was horny, the potato struck. All right. So let's say that we got lumpy potatoes and horny potatoes and evil potatoes, all the potatoes. All right. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. All the stuff. All right. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Appreciate it. And go over and show her some love after this lady.
Did they open up their lives to one another only when he knew Jennifer was some kind of package deal? Was that the only reason he said yes? Well, Stephan lists his position as a real estate agent on LinkedIn with Home Clicks Realty. Self-employed from April 2014 until June 2017. He worked there 3 years and 3 months as a sales associate, listing agent, listing manager. I don't know if it was that company. Stephan also lists a position as a permit coordinator with Smart Build Capital, self-employed, from January 2017 until July 2018, working there for 1 year and 7 months in Orlando, Florida. There's kind of an overlap there. He left one job allegedly in June 2017, but he also had a different job starting in January 2017. I don't know which of these companies, if any of them, were related to that now defunct Echo Homes, but I keep digging to determine, okay, what was the main source of income for Jennifer and Stephan? I keep finding it fascinating
Yep.
that Jenn opened this Cash App account in November 2017, the same year she allegedly met Stearns. And was this just a coincidence? And did Stearns have his own Cash App account or Venmo account to take payments from people for nefarious purposes? We keep wondering.
That's a good question. I'd love to see her transactions. Now, we're not going to probably be able to get that, but the officers can get transactions to Cash Apps, Venmo, since we all think that Stephan was selling CSAM and giving Jenn money. I wonder what the transactions look like. It really makes me wonder. And look at that picture of her, such a bad picture. Yeah, she wants to sleep during the interview. They all want to sleep, and yeah, when she said, "Do I need to press charges today or can I think about it?" When it came to all the CSAM, that sealed the deal for me that she could care less about Maddie and all she cared about was Stephan and his attention towards her. Yeah, and she put Maddie right in the middle of them. Who does that? All right, you're going to let this guy sleep with you and your daughter, but you're going to put your daughter right in the middle for him to poke through his boxers. That was a good one. Yeah, I'm sure he was trading CSAM for sure. He had other children on there. He's a sicko. She's a sicko. They're all sickos. Thank you, Deb Palmasano, for being a member for 5 months. I appreciate you.
Wondering, I haven't found any of Stearns's Cash Apps or Venmos or anything like that. I didn't find a Venmo for Jennifer. Hopefully cops have all this info. Hopefully investigators have, gotten positive responses from subpoenas. I hate the way Instagram, which would be Facebook, yeah, that would be Meta. Some of these companies, you see search warrants for really serious crime cases. You will see the cops write these lovely long search warrants and requests, subpoenas, and then you will see the company say, nope, privacy issue, can't give you that. And it's like, come on, we're talking about the murder of a child here. I hope they gave them good results in this instance. So it's also ironic that right around the time that this permit coordinator position with Smart Build Capital ended in July 2018, that's when he reportedly started hooking up, was more than friends with Jennifer Soto.
So 2017, we see lots of pictures with Maddie and her being little, him already starting to groom her, obviously, showering her with toys and affection and, let me pay attention to you while we swim and whatever, right? Now, Veronica, when somebody enters a plea, they usually enter a not guilty plea. He doesn't have to give he does not. Stephan Stearns and nobody that's alleged or innocent until proven guilty has to say a reason why they're not guilty. They just plead not guilty so that they can move on in the case to plead their case. That's not it's not any of our business to know, nor is it their responsibility to say. The burden is on the state to prove that he did it. All right. So he doesn't have to say that. All he has to say is not guilty. And that's what the plea is. Now, if he was to say guilty, if he was to plea as guilty, the case would take a different turn. That's not what's happening. So I know you don't understand it, but just understand it's a technicality. You didn't be stupid enough to not know Stephan Stearns, what he was doing was wrong. Yeah, I don't believe that. Thank you, Jojo. Someone match me. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You say somebody match me. Choo choo. Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Soto, as she puts it. I'm wondering, did Stearns find a more lucrative, under-the-table venture for making money around that time? Is that why he didn't need a traditional job? Okay, so this is what Jennifer is explaining to the cops. In 2017, he technically lived at his parents' house, but he was staying at my house all the time. Basically, she's saying they lived together in 2017. So I guess that's where the 2016 comes into play. If she had met Stearns and had been his best friend for a whole year before they started hooking up, chances are she met him in 2016, because by 2017, she's saying he technically lived at his parents' house, but he was staying at my house all the time. So by 2017, they're hooked up. Stephan's always at the condo. I'm assuming she's talking about the condo, but she changes it up. That's another thing that gets confusing. The cop is asking her, okay, same
she does change it up. And I want to clarify this because she changes it up with us as well. She changes it up when she tells us the info that we're hearing here. She says a year. To the roommate, she told them a year and a half. In another interview, she says 16 to 18 months before they ever became intimate. So it's hard to tell other than pictures. And then when the pictures come, we start seeing the abuse coming, and then we can document it. Microwave cheese, I love you and microwave cheese, both. Super sticker, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. And I did not catch you as well. Jamila, thank you so much for the 99-cent super sticker. It all helps. You guys have no idea. No clue. Thank you. All right. So Jennifer gives us different timelines. And I mean, you heard her saying, can I not do that at this time? Can I think about it? So I don't think that she thought that the essay that he was doing to Maddie was evil. I don't think she thought it was that bad. I think she thought, well, it's bad for me because my daughter's going to be in love with this guy, like the Woody Allen situation, but she didn't think of it as this evil, nefarious, gross thing that was hurting her daughter inside and out. I mean, I cringe at the thought of thinking about her body and how little she was, and Stephan violating her body like that. I can't even imagine that. It hurts me just thinking about it. Larissa Goodrich, hi, good to see you. All right, Zero, this woman didn't know what was happening. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there was any way that she could have not known. I just don't see how. But when she did know, let's pretend like she didn't. Let's put a scenario down, folks, and say she didn't know at all. All right. But then she gets in that room. She gets into the interrogation room, which was an interview for her. And they tell her and they show her pictures of Maddie on her knees with Stephan Stearns giving BJs to him. And she tells them, after she doesn't know all this time, let's pretend, do I need to charge him now, or can I think about it, or do I even have to do it? Can you give me a day to think about that? Think about that, y'all. Think about that.
Same house you're in now or a different house? Jen says, wait, take it back. I'm surprised she didn't say, just kidding, just kidding. She says in 2017, he wasn't staying over my house. It started in 2018 when we started hooking up, and he started sleeping over my house.
When did you meet Stephen or Stephan?
I met Stephan in 2017. We both worked for Eco Homes, a real estate company. I did appointments.
All right, so listen to this part. It's important for me to have you guys understand that they both worked at Eco Homes, and this is how they met. They did not meet in the gastric line. Hey, I'm getting my gastric band done. How about you? Oh, let's talk about gastric bands over coffee. That's not how they met. That's how they bonded. And that was clear from the roommate CM that Jenn told her, we met and we started talking about losing weight and getting healthier and getting these gastric bands. So they met at Eco Homes, but they bonded over the gastric band. So I heard that funny thing. Yeah. Gastro band besties. Yeah, let's be besties and cheers to the gastric bands, y'all. All right. So they met and then they bonded. So someone like drives me nuts, the misinformation and out of context things. But I also want you to remember, I'm not putting down a channel. I'm not that person to put a channel down. And I can't stand when people go to channels and say, Jay is low key putting this channel down. I'm not putting any channels down. And please don't say that, because then it brings this light and it starts stuff on Reddit. I'm not the only person that I'll ever say that about is Gray Pubes, all right? But any other channels, if information's wrong, we're all wrong. I was wrong about many things, and I'll talk about that tomorrow. All right, let's keep going. This is where she talks about meeting Stephan Stearns.
He worked in the office doing like warranty work. We met as coworkers. We became really good friends. We were best friends for like a year. And then eventually I asked him if he wanted to hook up, and he said, sure.
Sure. Hey, you want to hook up? Sure. I don't think he even said it like that. You want to hook up? Sure. Yeah. I can probably get it up for you. All right. That's what probably happened. Yeah, it's gross, but she pushed himself towards that, I believe. And yes, Marilyn Gavin pushed me. He pushes me and he promotes me. So thank you, Gavin Fish. He hit 100,000 and he always helps. He's awesome. He's one of the no nonsense, no drama creators. And I love that.
And yeah,
You said 17, 18. Did you live in Orlando, Kissimmee? Where were you guys staying then?
Kissimmee.
And did you guys live together in 17?
He technically lived at his parents' house, but he was staying at my house all the time.
Okay. Same house you're in now or a different house?
Wait, I take it back. In 2017, he wasn't staying over my house. It started in 2018 when we started hooking up, and he started sleeping over my house.
Okay.
And what were your next question?
Was that in the current
Yes.
house you live in now?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived in that house?
On and off, because at one point we moved close to where his parents live right now. They live in Northport, Florida.
So in essence, she's confused about the dates. Maybe they truly met.
She's always confused about everything. And Sonia, I want to tell you, that answer about do you want to hook up? Sure. As a matter of fact, when someone says sure to me about anything, like if I say, hey, do you mind grabbing me a Starbucks on the way to work? And their answer is sure, I say, never mind, I'll get it myself. That's how much I don't take sure for okay. Like, yeah, I'll get that for you, no problem. Or, yeah, how about I get you and you grab me one next week? But asking somebody, do you want to hook up after they've been showering my child with attention for over a year? And someone saying sure, I'd say never mind. I'm cool with that. You can keep your pinky winky to yourself. Like I don't even take a sure for anything I ask you to do. If I ask you and you say sure, I take it as a sure. Yeah, like sure. I don't really want to do it, but I'm being nice. That's what I take it as, and that's what I took it as with him. You're going to keep this face until she gets arrested. Bless you, microwave cheese. I knew I loved you for a reason. Yeah, sure is like probably. To me, sure is like I don't really want to, but I will. So anytime someone says that, it doesn't mean yes. It means, okay. Yeah, it's like a half-ass answer. Thank you. I'm glad you guys all. Her tone's weird too. She said that about Stephan Stearns. Her voice is normal. About Maddie, now her voice is low because their voice gets low when she's lying. That's why. I just don't hear myself asking, "Do you want to hook up?" I don't hear myself asking Stephan Stearns, "Do you want to hook up?" Ugh. Just saying.
Met in 2017. They were best friends, maybe that whole year or what have you. We don't know how long. And then by 2018, they started hooking up and Stephan started sleeping over Jenn's house. So we know that's when he had likely 24/7 exposure to Maddie, I'm assuming. But the evidence of misuse of Maddie didn't begin, according to the authorities, the proof they have, not until Juneteenth, which was June 19, 2019. Now, according to the state's attorney's charges against Stephan, they have evidence beginning June 19th, 2019, of Stearns treating Maddie horribly. You guys know what I mean. Keep in mind, this is only the start date of when their photographic evidence or video evidence begins, not necessarily when he began these dastardly deeds against the little girl. The way some of these guys work, maybe they slide their way into the homes of vulnerable women. He might not have cataloged the abuse technologically against Maddie until 2019. It might have started as early as 2018 or even 2017. Jen's not clear on the 2017 part, but that was the same year she opened her Cash App. That was the year she met Stearns. So he could have been assaulting her, I hope not, as early as 2017 when she was only 6 years old.
And I don't know if the assault happened because we don't have it documented, but he was sure I'm sure he had her targeted. This sicko with 35,000 images was absolutely targeting and grooming her from the very beginning, in my opinion. And I'm sure that he did that with other children, but this one, this potato gave him access to her daughter from the get-go. She's lazy, and the reason she got the name of potato is because a potato just does nothing, right? It sits there and it rots. It doesn't do anything. It's kind of like her. Thank you, JoJo, for gifting the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. You guys are just awesome today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, Potato must say that she's a great name for Jenn. Mashed. Anna, good to see you. I know you're from over there from, I don't know if you're from St. Cloud, but I know you're in that area. So good to see you. Good to see you. Absolutely disgusting. I can't fathom at all. And neither can I. I can fathom because I see it all the time, the grooming that these men do. But I can also, I would, my intuition would be going crazy if I saw what I saw in those pictures with Stephan and Maddie and him all the time. My stepdaughter, I'm buying it for my stepdaughter, my stepdaughter. That's all you ever hear. And him and her were on the phone a lot, as you recall.
We won't know because we know Stearns isn't telling, and Jenn truly might not have known. I have to always leave room open for maybe she didn't know anything. But the cops may not have been able to find evidence as far back as 2017. Thankfully, when he factory reset his phone twice, I didn't realize that action would sync everything back up to the cloud, which is great. And maybe it only synced it back up as far back as 2019. Stearns might have had a different phone in 2017. We never know. Maybe it wasn't even synced to the cloud or could have been a different carrier.
Yeah, I do think that they did that once her and Stefan solidified that they were together. And I think it was close to 2 years. After a year and a half, they start dating. Now, in 2019 is when CM moved in. She was there between 2019 and 2020. And she said that it was really new for Jenn, Soto, and Stefan, but they would always sleep in the same bed. All 3 of them would be in bed all day in the same bed. And she would, if you recall, leave her door open because she felt uneasy about having somebody in her bed, in the bed, 3 people in the bed like that. She felt weird. Now, Finny, does anyone know how Jenn was able to keep custody? I do, because she had her family. Her family saved her many times. She didn't go in and out of a psych ward like she was in there for months. She would check herself into a psych ward. She'd have a panic attack and she'd go in, check herself into a psych ward. Psych wards will give you medication if you're all out of whack and you say, I have a panic attack. I need to be checked in. I'm feeling crazy. They'll give you meds to calm you down. They'll drug you up. So, what comes between a psych ward and being drugged up? Or a drug addict needing drugs, go put yourself in a psych ward. They'll drug you up real good. Okay, so the family is the answer. That's the family. There was no child services involved. In the beginning, Tyler was fighting for Maddie when she was way younger, and then Jenn outplayed him with the lawyers that her mom paid for. I can't really get into any deeper than that because it's not my place to. But later down the road, the family supported her, and then she had Stephan. So if she was going to go check herself in, Stephan would be there, right? That's what I'm going to say about that. A drooling potato. Yeah.
Or rather, it could have been, who knows what it was. But bless God, they do have hard evidence starting in 2019 going forward, enough for any jury in the land to convict this man. I can't imagine seeing this stuff that I don't want to see, but a jury will have to realize the horrors of what he inflicted upon this young girl. According to that latest 501-page PDF, that discovery dump, there is a file, and the name of the file has the date July 2nd, 2019, depicting Stephan doing horrible things to Maddie. She was only 8 years and 4 months old, and she was watching cartoons. That's the hard part, where like she's a little girl just sitting there trying to watch cartoons, and this man is just, ugh. Anyway, years.
So imagine, and this is, I don't want to imagine this, but imagine a little girl before it's getting documented, what he was doing to her, what he was saying to her that wasn't documented. All right. And Lotus, awesome. FBI is arresting this guy. Great. Let us do an update on this and let's find out about this. Let me know, Lotus. Please let me know. I'd love to give you a membership, so stay in here. Heaven, how you doing? I miss all of you. There's 385 people in chat. If you don't have the means to donate, all you got to do is just hit the like button and subscribe, and then and share it. Share it, please. Off topic, but did y'all hear they found drugs in their system? No, they didn't find drugs in their system. That's not the toxicology, or that's not any kind of thing. That was just a document that was not them. And if you're talking about the drugs, it's not them. Should I show that now so everybody can explain that, since it was an evidence checkout and Dequan Doherty in this case had meth and crack and meth and cocaine, and that was him. That was not Stephan Stearns and Jenn Soto. A huge misconception. All right. Let me just show you this real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing this for a second and show you so I can get this out of the way. Hold on. Let me show you this now that you brought it up. It's not them. It's not them that got this. It is a different person. All right. So here it is. Here's the evidence checkout. Now, this one doesn't have Plunder's name on it. It's actually from there. It's an evidence checkout. If you look at the case number, it's 233-02865. That is, in fact, that's Dequan Doherty. All right. Look at the case number here. I'm going to explain it to you real quick. Here's the Stearns case, 24001896. Okay. That is not Dequan Doherty's. Dequan Doherty's there's a different case number, and it's a different, look at, here it is, the meth, 2440288. That is not, in fact, they were going to the lab. That's Stephan Stearns, the 896 one there. That is not Stephan Stearns' case number. They're different things going to the lab. Does that make sense, y'all? The creator didn't say that. They didn't know that. That's why. Whatever creator you're watching didn't know. Many different case numbers. All right. So, do you guys understand that now? Case numbers are different. They were all going to the lab. And I'm not throwing shade. Let's get this clear real quick. I'm not throwing shade at any creator. So, please don't say that. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just telling you that these were different cases. They were put into the same sheet to go to the evidence lab. All right. And yeah, many times I do clear up mistakes and misinformation, and people run to creators and they go tell them Jay was talking crap. And I wasn't. I'm just clearing up misinformation, which I'm going to do tomorrow. Yeah, luckily I had Bree bringing that to me, and then many other of you crime crew came to me to clear this up before I came on here. So Bree helped me, Synth helped me, and many other crime crew people. So yes, does it make sense now? All right, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying you could tell anybody you want. I'm just clarifying it for you that they're two different case numbers. It's a different case, and you'll know with the Stephan Stearns case number, it's always going to be the two cases, the one for the essay and the one for the capital murder. All right, he's got two case numbers. That is not the case number, and that is in fact Dequan Doherty. All right, y'all. So not the same case. I wanted to just let you guys know that. Yeah, it's called, thank you, Wednesday News. It's called batch reconciliation. Batch reconciliation, and it's all in one, but it got confused with the same case. Many creators came out with breaking news about this when in fact it's not the same case. They don't belong to either one. They have nothing to do with it at all. Now we know they're addicts. That's not breaking news. All right. Yeah, pot stirrers do that, Larissa. You're right. They do. And I love my crime crew, but there's people in here that go and they say things and it causes trouble. I don't want that. So no shade to anybody. Well, thank you, Microwave Cheese. We are the real deal, and we really do this with integrity. We don't want to start stuff, and we don't want fake breaking news. All right, so I'm going to pull that down. I want you guys to know you saw it with your own eyes. I'm not making this up. It's not the same case. It's a batch reconciliation, like Wednesday said. All right, so I'm going to pull this down now and go back to what I was doing. Let's get back to it. All right, so no shade to anybody.
Years later, Jennifer would tell investigator that she herself was disabled. Presumably, I think that means she was collecting disability benefits, like we saw the handicap sticker in her Nissan Sentra. And Jennifer did tell investigators she does not make much money.
So we're waiting for that so he can get his job back. And in the meantime, he just has to get something down there to be able to save up to come up here because I can't afford to. I'm disabled. I work part time. Like I don't make that.
And there it is, y'all. The I'm disabled. I work part time. Now, I want you to know that her disabled and her working part time is not her physically. It's not that she's handicapped physically. She has mental issues. So I want you guys to understand that. That's why she takes so much medication, is because she has mental issues. She does go in there and say, I'm having this major anxiety panic attack and I need you to keep me for 3 days or whatever, however many days they keep her. So I do want you to know that. I don't know how how valid that is, or if she just wanted to, she's a drug chaser, but that's how it goes. And thank you. I don't do clickbait or blow things out of proportion. I just want to report on what there is to report on. And I want you guys to know, because you guys come to me and say, Jay, what's going on? I heard this thing. Can you clarify it, or can you validate it? And I'm not the overseer of the Madeline Soto. Okay, so I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for you guys I'm not even on lives when you guys message me a lot. You guys message me everywhere and I love you. But Instagram, Facebook, what is it now? Discord, even TikTok, I'm getting messages from people trying to clarify things. So yeah, we report facts. Right? I had this panic attack. I need Botox. Me too, Mr. Bot. Me too. I have a panic attack. I need free Botox. Come on. All right. Just kidding. Let's go.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, how did Jennifer support herself enough to pay money to her dad for rent, to buy food, gasoline, insurance, and afford this newish car that is at the center, in a way, of this case? Did disability cover all those expenses and help Jennifer pay for Maddie's expenses and for that free loafing Stearns to hang out around the condo and eat all their food? Let's look at the cost of Jennifer's car. So we know Jennifer was driving this 2022 white two-door Nissan Sentra SV, Florida tag NVJS91. Now, the original MSRP for a 2022 Nissan Sentra SV was $21,030, with Jennifer telling cops in the interview, I'm disabled, I work part-time, I don't make that much.
Well, where did she throw in the $16,000? Where did that go? And where did Maddie's birthday money go as well? Where did that money go? That's what I want to know. Also, Tyler was paying. As a matter of fact, Tatiana, and I'm not sticking up for Tyler. Don't go on my page and say, stop sticking up for Tyler. I'm not sticking up for Tyler. I'm not taking a side. He did pay child support, and I saw the child support text. I saw not the text, the documents. I saw that he paid child support. There was a child support monthly check. She was also getting child support. In the beginning, it was 2 something. Later on, I think it was closer to 4 or 5. Tatiana helped him pay child support too. So she was also getting that. All right. I don't know if she's in handicap spots. That I can't find out because it's HIPAA laws. But I do want to tell you that I do know a lot about her income and different things. Didn't her dad say he wanted to rent no, her dad, she just threw shade at her dad. Her dad wanted her to pay for the condo. Her dad never said, rent out a bunch of rooms, Jen, and put numbers on them. I'm sure she made income for herself. But yeah, she blamed it on Juan. Let's be real. Let's be real with that. All right. I'm never going to blame it on Juan.
Money. You'll see it in the video linked to below around the 2 hour and 56-minute mark. How did she survive? We don't know how much disability pays, and it's private, but it makes you wonder. In the meantime, Stephan could not hold down a job either to save his life. At least 2 jobs fell through. We've heard talked about in these interviews. At one point, they moved somewhere down near Northport, I guess just Jennifer, Stephan, and Maddie in some apartment, and that that job fell through. And then more recently, Stephan left Kissimmee in December 2023, that same time that Maddie sent him that text of mom and dad coins. He left and that job fell through. And by the way, anything we quote here, if you guys I've seen people be confused about who literally sent the text. In one of the documents, it literally says Maddie sent Stephan a text, not even redacted. It was saying Maddie sent Stephan a text containing a photo of 2 coins. And then we had the rest redacted. It said something about sexual activity. Redacted. We don't see anything else.
I'm muted. Sorry about that. My daughter is pressing this. That is redacted, but we want to bring to you and let you know the coins there was in fact messages by Madeline. So with the redaction here that we get on the back, you can actually hover over it and it will show the name. I'll show you guys tomorrow. So, all right, let's keep going.
But we see that Maddie's name is there. Maddie sent Stephan the text. And then later in this 501 page dump, as I showed you guys before, anyone who has the PDF, all you got to do is just highlight sections and go paste it like in TextEdit or Notepad or whatever you have on your computer. And you will see sometimes Maddie's name is not fully redacted. You still see the DELINE. Anyone can do this. I've seen people be confused about that. And I'm like, if you just have the original PDF, you can just do it. It's not going to be everywhere throughout the document, but in certain locations, you definitely see. And in the Madeline coin text exchange, that was definitely Madeline texting Stephan, whether it was about a real baby, Tamagotchi coins, whatever, we just don't know. But back to Jennifer and Stearns. Jennifer told police about Stearns quitting his Disney job, where he worked at that Soarin' attraction, and the journey into imagination with Figment Ride in Epcot. Now, we captured, someone, this other great YouTuber captured him, Stearns, on video. It was a YouTube video published to YouTube on July 29th, 2023. So we know that Stearns was working at that point at Disney, but he would quit the job, as Jennifer told cops later. There's irony to me also in Stearns working for this Figment ride, because Maddie's Instagram account was named Little Figment. So I'm like, did he encourage her to start her Instagram account, and did he name it? I don't know, maybe she just liked Figment. But the type of position that Stephan held at Disney likely didn't pay much money. Now, I don't know what his specific role is called. I think Jennifer may have mentioned it, but it likely wasn't enough money for him to be like shelling out money hand over fist.
Now, his last role was he was just like what do they give those fancy names? And hello, Carrie, good to see you. His last occupation was, I believe, technically at Disney, at Disneyland, and it was like a ride operator or something. You know how Subway says you're a sandwich artist? I think it might have been fancier than a ride operator, but that's what it was. And I'm sure it was just paying minimum wage. I think Maddie told someone her friends must be scared to talk. Interesting. Sin, thank you so much for the one Guilty of Crime membership. You guys are kicking butt today. Thank you. We're talking about income right now. I didn't even know we were going to talk about this. I still want to show you the CarFax thing about her car. And I don't know why exactly that's so important, but I guess we'll find out. There were some damages done, and I think we saw those damages that were done on the car when they took pictures. I was wondering what those smudges were on the side. I thought it was like them doing fingerprints, but I couldn't tell. All right, let's keep going.
And ordering all these packages and expensive little toys. I mean, some of those you can see if you look back on Stearns' Reddit account. First of all, he loved so many weapons. Looks like he had a lot of those. I'm sure those are not cheap. And also, he would order, I think he would order different vintage things, like all the way from overseas. Like, I don't know how much the Tamagotchis are. I've seen just like prices here and there. Some of those things can be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Now, pay rates for Disney World jobs in Florida can vary depending on the role and the experience level, but here's some examples I found. One is like a greeter, which might have been what Stearns was, and that pays less than $16 per hour. I'm not sure if Stephan worked full-time. I can't see him doing that. I remember on Reddit him complaining about, he would get so many steps at Disney, and he must have worked hours and hours, but I'm not sure if he got any full-time hours. But according to Jennifer, Stearns did quit that job, and she was even talking in that transport video. It's hard to hear her, but she's talking about, yeah, we're trying to get him back up here, but apparently there must be some kind of rule. You have to wait 6 months after you quit a Disney.
She did talk about that, folks. She wanted to get back together with Stephan Stearns. They had broken up. She wanted to get back together with him and help him. I don't know if you guys recall that, but she did say that that was their plan, was to get him working again, maybe even working with his dad, doing some kind of real estate and maybe non-Disney, or get him a job at Disney because she was a concierge. But she did, someone nailed it earlier. They said that she had to be careful not to work too much, which is very interesting. She did have to not work too much or she wouldn't be able to keep her disability. Microwave Cheese, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. They all are amazing, right? Everybody got so much input. Now, what about the conspiracy that Jen? That's not a conspiracy, Cindy. That's a theory. I've always had that theory that Jenn was jealous and maybe walked in and something happened when her and Stephan and Maddie were in bed, but we don't know that. That's not a conspiracy. It's just a theory, literally. Granny Bassmaster. Jay, you're a good parent. I haven't seen that done in a long time. Respect. Thank you. Well, yeah, I have 2 kids and they very much not only demand attention, but I give it to them, lots and lots and lots of attention. I love them. And yeah, these super chats actually really helped me because my daughter just came on and wanted me to support another YouTube channel, which is really cool, actually. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. Yes, disability 20 to 25 hours. I don't think she was working 20 hours at all. I think she was working like 10 or 12 hours max.
Disney job. There's some kind of 6-month waiting period. And she's like, yeah, we're trying to get him back up here and all that. Now, I know Stephan's dad, Chris Stearns, paid his rent. In fact, Chris Stearns was complaining about, look, we're tapped out. And we heard in that latest jail call that Chris is like, look, Stephan's asking for money for commissary, put money on his books. And Chris Stearns, I felt bad for him. He's like, look, we're broke. We're going to be on lockdown. Like, basically, just stop. I know his dad was paying his rent for a while. Even for a while, he's like, look, Stephan, I can't keep doing this. And real estate, I know it's fluctuating. Also, Chris and Deborah Stearns are older. It's one thing, when you ride the market and you're doing well as a real estate agent and stuff's going great, if it's a boom time, with the economy's great or whatever, and maybe they were able to just kind of buy Stephan his toys and support him through his 20s and all that. But now that they're
Yeah, no, I don't think that. I think he was absolutely not only trading the CSAM, but he had to be making some kind of income to be able to afford $100 or $200 Tamagotchis and all these little figures. Now, I do think he was selling some of those figures that he was painting because he had a obscene amount, but I don't know. I don't know because we haven't seen any transactions. El Price, good to see you. I haven't seen you in quite some time. All right, let's keep going. I still got to show you the CarFax report.
older, it should be their retirement years. In the 70s, your 70s, you have health issues. His parents have health issues. I'm sure they want to slow down and not worry about the burden of some 38-year-old son sucking them dry. So I know his dad was paying Stephan's rent, but where did Stephan get all this money for these expensive toys and food and even gasoline? The normal things of life. We know how much stuff costs just to live. Even Chris and Deborah Stearns expressed their confusion over Jennifer and Stephan having lots of unaccounted for money. Indeed, if you're kind of
Wow, that was awesome, B Fuentes. Thank you so much for the $49.99 super sticker. Wow, I appreciate that. Shout out to you. I wish you had a comment for me. Talk to us in chat here. Thank you. Stella, thank you for gifting the one Guilty of Crime membership. You're awesome. You guys are awesome. And Carrie, good to see you. You didn't tell me about the UFO videos. No, you got to let me know about that afterwards, after this. I don't want to get sidetracked too much. All right, Malibu Surf. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, we got a little more, and then I don't think I want to watch our whole video. I want you guys to check out the CarFax and go watch her video and support Paula on Plunder.
On disability, I have to assume it wouldn't pay a woman like Jennifer that much. Stephan had quit his Disney job. His dad was being tapped out. And you still got to fill up the car. You still got to buy food. Maddie, they had to, I'm sure, buy clothes for Maddie. And there were things. And Jennifer had just started that job at the front desk at Coronado Springs. So it's not like she had had that job for a while. Now, meanwhile, Stephan was tooling around in older cars, not newer cars. It looks like his money was going towards Tamagotchis and God knows what else, but not towards a new car. There was a 2012 taupe Honda Civic. That was Stephan's car. I don't know how often he drove that because there was an even older 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ, more famous one. It was a car that Chris Stearns owned, but Stephan was driving. But Jennifer's car was newer. A 2022 Nissan Sentra SV. We have the VIN number. It was 4-door, front-wheel drive.
Now, I don't think she's still in a mental hospital. I believe initially she checked herself in. It was a lot for her to handle what happened. I mean, she lost Stephan. Oh, wait, did I say that? She lost Maddie. No, I think to her, she lost Stephan, and that was a lot for her to handle. Now, another thing that I still don't know, and none of us have the answer to, is why did Jenn Soto's car, why did the cadaver dogs hit on her car and not Stephan's? When I don't understand that. That's one thing a lot of people ask, and I have no idea. I don't know why the cadaver dog hit on her car. And now he was using the Lincoln. Refresh my memory, y'all, but her car shouldn't have hit on Maddie's body unless he went back and visited and some reason was doing something with her or touched something or had something. I still think the necro thing, again, it's not a conspiracy theory that I'm talking, it's just a theory. A conspiracy theory would be me saying, yeah, he did this and this happened and this and this. No, I don't have a conspiracy theory. I have a theory. All right, the classic one. How you doing? What's up? Good to see you. Yeah, I thought that too in the beginning, but for some reason she's not been charged with anything. I think he did move the body, but it wasn't in Jen's car. But you think he moved her body with Jen's car the night he left. Interesting. I think something could happen. You say a false hit also happens a lot. That could be too. That could absolutely be. But he did go back. The scent was newer. He touched the car. He did go back, though. We know he went back to the scene. What did he go back to the scene for? Yeah, you've been wondering that too. Maddie's been in the car and her scent would be there, but not a cadaver scent. Right. So I don't know what was throwing that off. But if you say that happens a lot, he did go back to the scene. That's all I'm going to say. And he did go back to the scene in her car. All right. We need lots of shirts. We need to get on that this week, Synth. I need to create a shirt. I need you girls to help, especially Carly. I need your help getting those shirts up. All right. Let's listen a little more and we'll go over the facts.
So I'm like, well, at least Jennifer probably had good enough credit to get that car. More on that later. Where is Jenn now and how is she making money all these months later? Now, the Facebook groups dedicated to Maddie reported initially that Jennifer's car was spotted at her sister's house, and they were right because later Jennifer did tell police she was hiding out at her sister's house. I didn't realize it was so close to the condo because the
absolutely close to the condo. Now, Stephanie is her sister. Stephanie was the girl that called 911, one of the people, and the other person was Yolanda, not the mama. Good to see you. Arrest Jenn Soto. You're absolutely right. Oh man, you know what? I told you she was at Stephanie's house. She's been there the whole time. She's hiding out there. And when I say hiding out, she's letting them do a lot of her dirty work. All right. She's letting them go to the memorial and pick up the boxes for her. She's letting them just do everything. And now this brings me back to Stephanie calling 911. 9 out of 10 cases where a parent did something that was suspicious or had something to do with a crime, They didn't call 911, but they had somebody else call. They had their mom call, their dad call, a brother call, a neighbor call. They weren't on the 911 call. They were in the background kind of directing, or they weren't in the background at all. But the person was like, well, that person told me to call. They couldn't. Da, 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 da. So it's very interesting to think about her not calling 911, and that's what I'm thinking about when I think about her hiding out at Stephanie's. She's been using them the whole time to block her from whatever she's trying to be shielded from.
These reports from the authorities noted, I won't tell you her sister's address, of course, but they noted that Jennifer's sister's home was only walking distance from the infamous condo. And I looked it up on Google Maps, and it is only a 10-minute walk. But I don't know if Jennifer's still there. So I was like, oh, no wonder Jennifer's sister would have given Maddie a ride home from the party that night, her birthday party, that's Sunday, February 25th, because she lives right around the corner, which is one more reason why Stearns did not need to be there at all. Jennifer's sister dropped Maddie off at the condo, and Jennifer's sister, in essence, Maddie's aunt, was right around the corner. So if Jennifer was worried about Maddie needing any help, needing an adult nearby, her sister was right there. Her sister dropped Maddie off that night, and Jenn came home, by 10:30-ish? So Maddie, only had a couple of hours alone, which is fine to me for a 13-year-old who seemingly is as mature as Maddie was, self-capable, confident, able to take her own showers, wash her own hair, brush her hair, get ready for bed. There
was no reason other than Stephan grooming Maddie and Jenn letting him do that to her. As a matter of fact, how is it acceptable that that very night he gave her too much medication, and on another time when Jenn called poison control? Why did they need him at all? They didn't, other than him like, oh, I need to be there. We need cuddle. She needs cuddle time is what he told the officers. She needs to cuddle with me. She needs a warm body next to her. She needs to snuggle, all that stuff. I need to give her shower time, and that it doesn't make any sense. I just come back to the thought of what happened between that time that Stephan got there and Jenn got home. Did Jenn really even see Maddie that night? Because she couldn't tell the officers what she was wearing at any point. The only time that she was able to say something, and I think she was wrong. She was saying that she had shorts on and a hoodie, or I don't even know if she got it right. Did she get it right? I don't think she did. I don't think she got it right. And it was very questionable about what she was wearing. She didn't know. After the call, the poison control would be taking meds away and making sure that, yeah, I was the only one. I agree with that. I agree. But that didn't happen. I don't think she's seen Maddie. I don't either. And if she did see Maddie, it was her doing something, her jealousy. Something happened. Something did happen, and we know that. And Stephan keeps implicating that he wasn't the only one involved. He didn't do it alone. He didn't say I didn't do it alone, but he said I didn't start it. What does that mean?
no need for Stearns to be there. There was no need for help. If there was an emergency or anything Jennifer was truly worried about, she could have said, okay, your aunt's going to drop you off at home, and she's 10 minutes away. If you need anything, she's right there. I'll be home at 10:30. No need for Stearns to be there. So that's another thing I was like, what? Anyway, how did Jenn's car get damaged? That's my question. On Thursday, June 6, 2024, damage was reported to Jennifer's 2022 Nissan Sentra, her white sedan. So I'm like, what happened to damage Jennifer's car on June 6th? According to the CarFax report, I've linked to it below, the PDF. I spent like nearly $50 to get this report because I'm just so interested in what's going on.
Yeah, she is interested and she's dedicated. So thank you, Plunder. I didn't want to go and pay for that as well. So I'm like, hey, let's shout her out. I mean, the information that comes from it's just, it's a little more, but it's not a whole lot. So it's on her Plunder, or it's on her Patreon, Plunder. If you go there, you're supporting her channel. I don't know what Reese is doing on my phone. She's over here deleting messages. Is that something up? All right. She used my phone, then she deleted messages. Should I check my bank account? Probably. Anyway, all right. So support her channel so we can, I think by the time we, subscribe to her Patreon and pay for the documents, hopefully I'll pay her back. So do that. Yeah, go to her Patreon and subscribe. I'm going to show you a part of it, but I don't want you not to go get it because we showed it to you. I want you to go get that. Yeah, okay. I thought so, Jess. So she's on my phone and she got text messages and she got something there, but she deleted them. So, yeah. But I pay attention to her. Yeah, teenagers and phones on my phone. We're gonna play detective, you guys. We're gonna play detective on my phone. All right, but I know how to check deleted messages. Don't tell her that. All right, let's keep going. I want to check this CarFax thing out. I have it right here. I'm gonna look at it real quick while I'm on.
Going on with this case, seeing Maddie get her justice, seeing all the culprits. If it's just Stearns, that's fine, but seeing everyone who needs to be arrested. But according to CarFax, there was no total loss reported to CarFax. Oh, this dog. Oh my God. As far as structural damage, quote, CarFax recommends that you have this vehicle inspected by a collision repair specialist. There was no airbag deployment reported to CarFax. So I was like, what happened? Because remember when Jennifer was like trying to, again, her and Stearns with the woe is me. She was like, I was sobbing. I was doing the ugly cry and I was driving and I was, she was explaining in one of those interviews to the cops, I was driving and I could have gotten into an accident. So part of me is like, did Jennifer get into an accident? But maybe not. It just says damage, not accident. So I don't think she was in the car. I don't know. Who knows? Did a branch fall on Jennifer's car? Did someone damage it intentionally? Someone who's following the case.
All right, let's go a little bit further because I'm going to have my own speculation.
So yesterday, I stayed in the office. My family went out searching.
Oh, there it is, y'all. Not only did she stay in the office and her family go out searching, but she never searched for Maddie. And that was a huge deal to all of us that she never searched for Maddie. I think the whole point of this whole entire show is, did Jennifer Soto let Stephan just write out groom Maddie and do it because she wanted his attention? She wanted his company. She was going to get back together with him, y'all, after all of this that he did. Before she knew that, obviously, she was going to get back together with him. But he was already, if had they not found out, he would have continued doing that, continued abusing Maddie. That life would have went on as usual, but she'd have taken him back and moved him in and helped him. The whole point of this thing is hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. We can't let anybody forget about Maddie, and we won't. So tomorrow I'm going to just debunk some things and then move on to other cases. But as soon as stuff comes out, we're going to hit this again. And if you guys need clarification, you could message me. Of course, you know that. All right, let's talk a little bit more about this. We'll get into I'll show you the CarFax. I'll direct you to Paula's Patreon, and then we'll say goodnight.
Which office?
1355, yeah.
You stayed until what time?
I'm going to say somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock I left and then I came home.
You came straight here?
Yeah.
And then who was out? Your family was out?
Yeah, but I think they all stopped actually, I'm not sure. One of my uncles might have kept searching along the trail.
So we know in the interviews, Jennifer talked about, oh yeah, Stephan said he took my car to go out and look for Maddie. It was the middle of the night. So obviously they can't yet. They don't have enough photographic or video evidence to prove who exactly was driving that Nissan. But this is interesting. On April 17th, 2024, this application and affidavit for search warrant, one day before Jennifer's big derivative immunity interview, it says, Jennifer told detectives that she communicated with Stephan via cell phone after Madeline went missing. Jennifer stated she would communicate with Stephan using Google Meet. I don't know if I've used that before, maybe for some meetings here and there. Text messages in Jennifer's cell phone reveal she would.
Before they say that, before they talk about what it reveals, let's talk about Google Meet. Now, I think the reason she was using that literally was because Google Meet is one of those apps you can use whether you have an iPhone or you have an Android, right? And we know that one of them had an Android, but they were constantly on like a FaceTime. We're just going to call Google Meet a FaceTime. Jenn was constantly on there with Stephan, but Maddie was on there with Stephan many times. So they would probably stay on there when he was gone. And I say they, I mean Maddie was on there a lot. And that is part of the grooming, in my opinion. Part of the grooming is always having to have that control. Let me see what's around you. Let's Google Meet or FaceTime, AKA. All right, let's FaceTime each other so I could be in control and make sure there's no other guys around trying to groom Maddie, because he didn't want anyone around Maddie. He really didn't want Maddie crush on, like he said, or some other guy coming into Jenn's life that would be a stepfather and actually be able to care for her like a father should, meaning not abusing her. So, in my opinion, yeah, always keeping tabs on her is part of the grooming process for Maddie and for Jenn. And she let it happen. She let it happen. If some man was like, oh, I need you, I'm not with you, but I need to talk to your daughter for hours at night, but we need to be on a FaceTime or a Google Meets or any of that, doesn't matter what you call that. It's isolating and grooming her to feel special, but he was doing that with Jenn's approval. So just that's another thing right here. This Google Meet, aka FaceTime.
Ask
Same thing.
Stephan to use a Google application to communicate instead of normal text messages. So obviously they're talking about prior to his arrest, Jennifer was asking Stephan to use Google Meet to communicate instead of normal text messages. Now, I know certain people like to use WhatsApp and everything, especially if they're communicating with someone overseas, because that would be cheaper. But I don't know why Jennifer would prefer Google Meet over normal text messages. Anyway, it says a search warrant was lawfully.
We know why. We just explained that. It was because no. Google Meet is just the same thing as FaceTime. But if you have an Android, you have to use Google Meet. So just imagine someone always wanting to FaceTime you. It's not necessarily hiding something. It's so you can be in each other's face. You can see what's in the background. You can see everything. You can control everything. You can smother everything, and you can groom them both. Which I don't think that she was groomed. I think he kind of groomed her from the beginning when they were friends just to get into her life, but she let herself be groomed. It's like you can't grape the willing, right? That old joke, ha ha ha. Yeah, Jenn's a bozo and a horrible woman and a mother. And IFR, I agreed with your last message, but that's why. When Paula asked that question, why? It's so he can control and groom Maddie.
Obtained to search the contents of Jennifer's cell phone. However, some items that would have been backed up on Jennifer's iCloud account may not have appeared on her cell phone. Jennifer also had control over Maddie's iCloud account, which gave her the ability to approve or deny any apps Maddie applied for. Due to the material inconsistencies provided by Jennifer about the disappearance of Maddie, they know she was shady, given 1,000 different conflicting stories. There's likely evidence of communication between Stephan Stearns and Jennifer regarding the disappearance of Maddie within Jennifer's iCloud account. So they're saying there's probably evidence here, likely evidence here, of communications between Stearns and Jennifer regarding Maddie's disappearance within Jennifer's iCloud. Also, data potentially contained in Maddie and Jennifer's iCloud accounts may show if devices belonging to Jennifer or Maddie were within Jennifer's Nissan on February 26th. They're saying there's probable cause to believe there's evidence regarding this capital sexual batteries, all these crimes, possessions of CSAM and all that. So that's why that was written. It's interesting that it was written, as late as April 17th, the day before that big interview. They just don't trust Jennifer. Now, by now, all these months later, May, June, July, August, September, October, 6.5 months later, have they had the time to, have they even gotten all the results of all their subpoenas and search warrants? Have they had the time to go line by line and research everything by now? I hope so. But back.
Yeah, it's no brand. So now someone's using a Google Meets. It's kind of the same as just using anything. You can use anything to be in somebody's face, be on camera, and that's pretty much what it's for. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate that. And prayers for Duty Ron. We had that on the channel the other week. Now, Duty Ron says he's going to be fine. He doesn't have cancer anywhere else. It is cancerous in his cheek, and he's going to get that cut out. So thank you, Leanne, for saying that. I appreciate you. All right, yeah, it's like Teams. It's like any other meeting. It's like what's the other one that everybody used for a long time? Yeah, let's lock her up. I wish. I wish. Now, if she doesn't get locked up, she's gonna be like Casey Anthony and be an outcast, right? She already is. She knows that people want to attack her. They want to see her in public and get a hold of her, and something bad will happen. She
Back
knows
to
that.
that car review, Jenny looks like she wrote, Eric was very thorough and helpful. Fastest experience I've ever had at a dealership, I guess. I can't find the rest of that. But if you look at the CarFax, you will see the Florida Motor Vehicle Department shows that Jennifer's registration was issued or renewed. Once again, it says loan or lien reported. Just like on June 30th, when she purchased the vehicle, it only had 10 miles on it. It said the same thing September 8th, 2023. So I guess she's just, renewing her registration. But little could anyone predict that her murdering boyfriend would be driving around in that same vehicle in 2024 to do God knows what. If he was the one who, was driving at that same path, if he went out to Maddie's body, I don't know what he was doing. So we know liens on cars are issued or loans are issued when it's purchased with borrowed money, to note that the lender has a claim on it if Jennifer fails to fulfill her loan. So Jenn must have had good enough credit to purchase that car. I don't know how much her monthly payments are. It's not the most expensive car in the world. We're not talking about a Bugatti here or something. So I guess it's not a stretch for her to be able to afford a $20-something thousand car, but I just wondered how. And again, on August.
Now, I gotta say, I think Juan and us hearing about her dad, Juan, as soon as we heard my dad wanted to rent out the rooms, everyone was like, oh, what a jerk. I can't believe he didn't protect Maddie. He wanted to rent those rooms out. That wasn't him. I almost guarantee you CM said Juan was a sweetheart. He gave her a sweetheart of a deal. When she rented a room, it was like $350 to help her get back on her feet. I really do think that he was just asking her to pay her freaking rent. And so she rented out the rooms thinking, oh, what a great idea. If I rent out all of these rooms, then I'll be able to afford that and make some money. And hello, overprotected 1111. Good to see you. Prayers for Maddie that we get complete and utter justice. I don't know what's going to happen with Jenn. We do know that Stephan probably is going to be prosecuted for capital and all the SA charges. Hopefully he gets a death penalty, but her dad didn't need the cash like that. He wasn't hard up for it. She was the one renting those rooms. And as a matter of fact, I was going to say that he probably helped her to get that car. Yeah, absolutely. Just hit the like button. I appreciate that. Yeah, you saw the potato with no hair. Yeah. All right. Yeah, absolutely. He was probably a co-signer, and he probably did help her either just co-sign or put a down payment or even purchase a car. That's what my thought was.
August 2nd, 2024, her registration was renewed or issued. So it was renewed, most likely. So I'm thinking, how's she making money now? Is Jennifer working for DoorDash? That's what the rumors are claiming. Jennifer obviously doesn't have her Disney World job anymore. Jennifer told the investigator she worked that Sunday night before Maddie was reported missing at her front desk job at Disney's Coronado Springs. Now, that's a high-profile job that many people would recognize Jennifer's, especially in the Orlando area. If she were still working there, they would be taking plenty of videos and I'm sure cussing her out galore. So is Jenn still in hiding? Someone wrote on Facebook, does anyone local have the scoop on Jenn Soto? Is she in hiding? I saw a rumor about her doing DoorDash. I'm just genuinely curious what she would be doing with her life when she's being so publicly crucified, rightfully so, on the internet, in the news, etc. It fascinates me. So I'm curious what the word around town has been. There was a post on here that got deleted because it got out of hand, where at least 5 to 6 of us said we'd seen someone who looked like her in a certain area, including myself, the person said, but I'm not 100%. I saw this person in the parking lot parked across from me, but I can't be sure. It's wild that none of these people caught photos.
So quickly, Tom, good to see you. He's going to be prosecuted for the 35,000 CSAM. There's a whole other trial for CSAM and then for the capital murder charge. Yes, he will be, absolutely. And I don't know if it's 3,500 additional on a hard drive, but they're all going to be prosecuted together. Thank you all for being here. I do appreciate that. If you want to watch this without commentary, because there's already commentary from Paula, please do go over to her channel and go watch this, like it, comment on her stuff. I really do appreciate being able to play a reaction. When I heard this yesterday, I was super fired up about it, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta react to it. I need the crime crew to hear what I need to say about this." So, we have a lot of insight on this case, and it really does help to have a reaction. Yeah, 35,000, right? I truly believe this horrific issue hits us all. Mother's place. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. All right, let's keep going. These women can't have children. Here's a woman who could but chose to be not to be a mother. Right. It's hard for some of us to have children, and yet we get ones like this that can have them. And I do believe that everyone failed there. I know this is the worst. Yeah, they were. Teachers did nothing, counselor did nothing, roommates did nothing, nobody did anything. You're right. You're right. Family didn't do anything, nobody did anything. And I believe when she hinted at telling people, they didn't do anything either. Yeah, there will absolutely be 2 trials, Patty. Absolutely. You bet. You bet. I can't say anything else than that. And we love you. I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. I normally see you on Grizzly's channel, but I guess you've been working. Everyone failed her. All right, let's finish it so we can get to CarFax. She's saying a lot of things that I'm like,
Of her. But can you imagine someone wrote getting a DoorDash from Jennifer? Now, I'm not saying the area mentioned because I don't want to take any risks of, Jenn coming to any harm. That's not what this is about. No matter what case I research, no matter what the person has allegedly done or hasn't done, I'm never on this, vigilante justice type of thing. That's never my intention. So that's why I redact certain things more than usual. If cops have found any evidence against Jennifer, they will arrest her. I have to trust in that. And if they miss it, like we've seen in cases over the years, cops might not be able to get enough evidence, or even they get enough evidence and they can't secure a conviction when certain people go to trial, like O.J. Simpson, let's say, who I always believed was guilty for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. But O.J. has met his
all right, let's go a little bit further. You guys can watch this.
missed it. So why didn't Jennifer delete her Cash App account? Is she still getting any disability, or did that white hot international attention of this case cause the government to take a look at Jennifer's case? And are they
You know what's interesting? I just remembered now that I heard her say that Cash App will let you, in fact, and they'll give you incentive to, let's say that you do get disability or you want a check, right? Let's say you want a check, you want your paycheck to be sent over to Cash App. So she could have it open because her disability was going through Cash App and being deposited into that account, which can go back and forth to your banking and checking account. So that's another thing, is that could be why. I know they're always trying to give me incentive. And good night, Scary Sherry. Thank you for being here. We've been here for almost 2 hours, which I got to wrap this up sooner than later. And yeah, Carrie, she's not in a mental hospital anymore. She's been in one in and out her entire life, or her adult life, I should say. And could you imagine Jenn rolling up, Jenn the potato Soto, delivering your food? I'd probably just throw it away. I don't think she's working at Cat. I don't think she's working as a dasher. All right. Let me finish her thought, and then I'm going to show you the CarFax really quickly. I don't want you guys, some of you are dropping out.
still giving her disability? Again, disability benefits are private, so we don't know how much she's making. Or, did Jennifer just lose the password to her Cash App account? Did she forget she had a Cash App account? Does she still need it? Like, I got to keep this open to make money, however she's making money. And is that the one app she can't afford to just delete, like Instagram, or I don't know if she ever had a YouTube, or, whatever. If she wasn't making money through any other way, I didn't see a Venmo for her. And maybe she can't put the Cash App under some fake name. Maybe it has to be her name. Block Inc. is the parent company of Cash App, but I didn't see that name specifically in any of the search warrants. But hopefully the investigators have researched all Jennifer's Cash App activity. We can't see the transactions. Perhaps they can. And I'm checking the court records also, not only Osceola Court, but Orange County and
All right, so we'll stop on that because we have also done that and we're still doing that. So we're still also getting, we're still requesting FOIAs from the different places that we need to. I'm gonna look at this CarFax with you real quick. I want you to see what you'll get. Now, if you are a member of Paula's or if you're not, she shares so many things. It's very, very worth it to join her Patreon and get. I mean, she's got that great content, great body cam footage, great everything. So this is the CarFax that she was talking about. And I love that she watermarks it because you don't want someone going and stealing that and like, look at the CarFax I got after she paid $50. So she dug deep with this, the CarFax Nissan Sentra that we've always seen that did have some damage done to it. We saw that when the cops took it in. We saw some scrape marks. 18,940 retail value. Interesting. I think her dad helped her with that. So this is just her vehicle report. I think we looked it over. I think she was looking over because there were some damage that was reported. Personal vehicle last owned in Florida, 5 transactions. Let's take a look. It's hard to kind of read this because it's got Plunder all over it. My eyes are having a little bit adjusting to it. Okay, so that's what we are looking at is CarFax recommend. Okay, so there was a collision that happened maybe or some kind of damage that happened on June 6, 2024. I think Jenn had a few speeding tickets too. Carrie, you were talking about something about her. I don't know, you're talking about Jenn having maybe tickets or I think she had speeding tickets though. Does she own it or pay a note? That's a good question. We didn't look into that. But I have a feeling her dad helped her with that. I don't know what bills she has. I never really got that intrusive. But yeah, I just want to show you what you can look up. This was downloadable over at Plunder site. So there was a link that just shows you what she was talking about. 6/6/2024. Some kind of damage was reported, but doesn't seem like anything too, nothing was reported to them or anything. Warranty active, 9 months, 35,000 remaining on it. It gives you everything. Wow, Paula, kudos to you for paying $50 for this report. Wow. 2022. So this isn't that old. This car is not that old. There's a little bit of damage in June. I wonder if she did it, if Stephan did it. Do you think she let Stephan drive this regularly? It's interesting because she told the officers that he never drives it, but then he took it that night and she had him drive it to go look for Maddie. Yet at the same time, she says she only noticed that Stephan used it because her seat was pushed back. So it's really weird that she said in one breath, I think the conclusion is that Jenn just lies a lot. She really lies a lot. Okay, so they do put points for speeding. She does have some tickets. She does have an old domestic violence, a DV accusation, or I don't know if it was a misdemeanor on her record from way back when that we looked into. But yeah, I think her dad paid. Her dad did put the condo up 2 times for sale. It was reported that it went up twice for sale. They never sold it. And I think he put it up to scare her because maybe she wasn't paying it. All right. So anyway, I'm just scrolling through this. I want you to see what you get over there. You can pay however much per month. How much is the Plunder? I think it's like, what is it? You pay $10 a month? I don't know. Something like that. We have a lot of subscriptions and different creators. So anyway, I mean, we're digging into her. You can see 2023 registration issued or renewed. So that was what Plunder talked about. She paid for her tags. Who knows who paid for that? Yeah, that's only a really significant thing. 8/2 Florida motor vehicle registration renewed. It's interesting because it says loan or lien. So when you guys say that we answered it. We answered the question. Foxy Amazon, you asked me if they paid for the car or they paid it off. $7 a month. There you go. You can go to Paula's Patreon on Plunder for $7 a month. You can get a bunch of content. So if she was taking a loan, then that means that it wasn't paid off. Her dad didn't. Yeah, she pays a note. That's what you're saying. It says that right there. So this gives you a lot of information about her if you wanted to know, which obviously we do. Yeah, so she pays on it. There's a loan taken out. I wouldn't be surprised if her dad helped her put the down payment. He bought the condo, and yeah, this just gives you a bunch of information that I don't know I want to give you. But I'd rather you go over to her page and check that out yourself. So I'm going to stop sharing that and put myself here. All right, we did a almost 2-hour live line. Yeah, lien is when someone else owns it. Yeah, so there was a loan that's taken out, or if you want to call it a lien, someone else, she got a loan for that car. Her dad probably put a down payment. We know nowadays that you got to get a pretty heavy down payment. Jenn has DV history and Maddie's awesome. Yes, we thought that from the very beginning, Cindy M. And she lived in St. Cloud, right past where Stephan put Maddie, her final resting place, where the memorial is, where the vigil was. All right. So, yeah, what's a recap? Yeah, we did almost 2 hours. So to recap, we covered a lot. Today we talked about Jennifer Soto letting Stephan groom Maddie, and letting him groom her by whatever means that means, whatever it means, having complete control over her on the phone calls, coming down and staying there, and just everything that he did. So yeah, do me a favor, hit that like button if you do like how I report on things, the energy I bring, the fact checking. Do subscribe and share. All right. So shout out to Paula for sharing the information on her Patreon always. And I love you all. I will see you back tomorrow. We're going to talk about truths. We're going to talk about untruths, and we're going to debunk things until the next time, because we're going to cover other cases this week. And I think you guys are going to enjoy the coverage that I do and the cases that I bring to you. If you like this content, I think you're going to love the cases I present this week, and you're going to get new content. All right. So I love you all. Thank you, Diana. I love you, and I love each and every single one of you. Good night. And Seven Search will be the one who's groomed in prison. Good one for the way out of here, Tom. Have a good night. Thank you. Hope to see you tomorrow. No shade thrown at anybody. So please, we love all creators, and even if we don't always agree, we still have healthy conversations with each other. So let's get things right tomorrow and cover new cases that need the attention. Good night, y'all. Love you.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?